Hello, my name is Christina Roselli, and this is my proposal on the parent perceptions of educational technology and the impact on student success. We're going to begin with the introduction. So, this study will examine parents' perceptions of educational technology and how these perceptions impact student success. Um, this proposal highlights the need for a review of the variables that impact parent support and the student use of school based technology in the classroom and at home. The background of this research comes from students that are using technology in the classroom. A lot of parents have a negative perception of technology, be that because they're unsure of what is being used in school or because they're unsure of how the technology is impacting their child. So now that mass amounts of educational technology are being used in the classroom, teachers are using it to better meet the needs of students, and students are using it to be able to get educational opportunities that they weren't able to get before, reaching outside of the four walls of the classroom and being able to collaborate with people outside of just their classroom and to be able to use programs that weren't previously used. So, if students are using this technology in the classroom, then we want parents to provide that support that will allow students to use the technology to its full potential. The problem statement is that this study addresses the impact of parent perceptions of educational technology on student engagement and success. Parents recognize that technology is growing and that it's very important to the success of their child, but they're unsure of what their children are being exposed to or how technology is being used. And a lot of this comes from the influence of technology on their child while they're at home, be that at video games or cell phones, and how much screen time students are getting. A lot of parents don't feel like their child need that much screen time and aren't sure of the effects that it'll have on their child at a later date. The purpose statement is that the purpose of this study is to determine whether or determine how parents' perceptions of educational technology, in fact, or impact the academic success of their students. Um, Students and teachers are using in educational technology at increased rates. It's much more available and it's changing every day. This study will be conducted at one high school, and we're looking at parents' perceptions. Um, these students have access to one-to-one Chromebooks, so this is a study on those students who have access at school, but it doesn't necessarily mean that these students have complete access at home. The objective is to note how parents feel about the use of technology and how that perception, whether it be positive or negative, impacts the achievement of their students in the classroom. The research question is, what impact do parents' perception of educational technology have on student academic success? The interview questions are as follows. What are your thoughts on educational technology use in the classroom? What are your thoughts on technology use at home? How does your child interact with technology at home? What has been your experience with education-based technology programs? What factors influence your use of education-based technology programs at home? And how can our school support parent use of education-based technology programs at home? So at the end of this study, I want to be able to come up with some ways that a school can support parents and any parents that are having negative perceptions. Maybe the introduction to the technology can help them change their mind a little bit or help them be more involved in their students' education at home. The conceptual framework is as follows. We are looking at the parent perspective, and that goes from the parent to the child, and then what the child's educational technology use is like. and whether they're successful or they're struggling based on what their parent perspective was. This will be a phenomenological qualitative study. So it will use emerging themes based on what the answers of the parents are. The questions are open-ended, so it will be coded, and we want unbiased and authentic perceptions from parents. So we want to make sure that the parents have the opportunity to look over the interview transcripts. So as we are talking about this, we're going to move into data collection. And basically what's going to happen is that the interviews will be conducted, and then word for word transcripts will be transcribed. Once those are done, those transcripts will be given or shown back to the participants to ensure that everything is correct and it was, there is no bias. And then the data will be coded and patterns and themes will be looked for. Once those patterns and themes are analyzed by more than one researcher to reduce the bias, then the participants will be able to review the themes to ensure that the meaning of the findings is accurately portrayed, because we want the most valid data possible. And then as far as social justice and equity, we're looking at equity in the classroom as far as technology, but at home, technology is not available to all students. So there is some sort of inequity there. So we're focusing on the students in class that have a one-to-one Chromebook access, and the focus is on how it changes their ability to perform in the classroom, so that when we are looking at educational technology, that all the students have the same access because they have the access in the classroom. And then the significance of the study is to link the parent perception to how the students are performing in class, but also because there is a lack of information on how parents perceive educational technology. There's a lot of information about how teachers and students use it and what their perceptions are, negative or positive, on certain information. So we want to be able to help educators understand how parents feel about educational technology, and also be able to understand how we can support parents that way, that their students continue to thrive while educational technology is being implemented in the classroom. And then here are the references for my study. Thank you.